How not to write fictional female characters. Sakura Haruno and Hinata Hyuga of the Naruto anime series. Both are very popular within their own right. Both have their own established set of fans from that particular anime series. And yet, both of them are extremely poorly written characters. I'm going to examine both characters and really analyze just what the problem is with both Hinata and Sakura as fictional characters, and as fictional female characters specifically. And so I'm going to start with Sakura Haruno. Sakura is one of the main characters in Naruto, along with Naruto and Sasuke. Basically, Sakura's character arc, she doesn't have much of a character arc, which is part of the problem with her. In the first part of Naruto, the first half of Naruto, she is extremely weak and inefficient. Her scenes of growth really aren't growth at all. She is a character that relies heavily on Naruto and Sasuke when the going gets tough, and she really doesn't know how to hold her own. And then the character, even mentions this on the show. So series creator Masashi Kishimoto, he recognized this when he was writing the series. So his solution was to make Sakura a stronger character, and basically he turned her into Tsunade 2.0 for Naruto Shippuden, which is the second half of the anime series, or part 2 of Naruto. While Sakura became stronger and she learned medical ninjutsu, and she became more self-sufficient and not as reliant on other characters at the beginning of Naruto Shippuden. Later in Naruto Shippuden, she kind of regresses, she does regress back into the same character that she was back in part 1, which essentially was a useless damsel in distress who has a bitchy attitude and likes to make Naruto into a punching bag. And that's not good, because Naruto's the main character, and throughout pretty much the entirety of the series, he has a huge crush on Sakura, and he does a lot to try and win over her affection. Sakura, see, the issue with Sakura is the simple fact that she is written to be a realistic girl. She has a lot of realistic qualities that girls in real life, coming of age, have. She has a lot of personality traits that are in common with women in real life. Her whole thing throughout the entire show is that she's trying to win over the affection of Sasuke, who is the second main character in the series. The problem there is the fact that Sasuke is an asshole. And the reason he's an asshole is because he has a traumatic childhood experience, and that turns his whole character into a dick, because the only thing he's concerned about is vengeance, and he has no interest in women at all for a very long time, throughout the entirety of the course of the series. So Sasuke, he persistently rejects Sakura's feelings, yet Sakura continues to have some sort of obsession with Sasuke throughout the course of the series. And that's not a good thing, because, for one, that paints her character as being extremely immature and just dumb, not very smart. And like I said, these are traits that are common with women in real life, but even a woman in real life past a certain point would understand that just because a guy is good looking doesn't mean that he's relationship material. This is where Sakura's character fails, because she never comes to that point in her development where, you know, she recognizes that Sasuke is not someone who is a compatible partner. He's not someone who she can form that kind of connection to. And she should realize that obviously Naruto is the one who is always there for her, and he's the one who truly cares about her. But she never comes to that point in her character development. And essentially her character development ceases. Past a certain point in the series, her development as a character just stops dead. With how Naruto ended, because past a certain point within the series itself, just speaking briefly on the series, Naruto really stopped being good after the defeat of the Akatsuki. Naruto should have ended after Pain and Nagato was defeated. Instead, it continued because of how popular the series was, and Shonen Jump, you know, wanted Kishimoto to write more because obviously the series was making money, and that was not a good decision for them to make. With how Naruto ended, and seeing the fact that Sakura and Sasuke are, you know, they do eventually, you know, marry and they have a kid together, that just proves as to how piss poor of a writer Kishimoto is when it comes to writing fictional characters from a romantic standpoint. That was just a poor decision, plain and simple. It doesn't make any sense that Sakura would end up with Sasuke when pretty much the entire series, especially in the second half of the series, you know, she spends more time with Naruto, and Naruto spends more time with her than most of the other characters that are on the show. And so it doesn't make any sense how, you know, and then, you know, adding on top of the fact that Sasuke tried to kill her, it's just, these are the things that I'm talking about. Past a certain point, Naruto really stopped being a good series when it came to the writing and whatnot. That's unfortunate. And Sakura was a character who was weak to begin with, and she just became weaker over the course of the series because the writer didn't know what the fuck he was doing, essentially. And so that's Sakura. Now I'm going to talk about Hinata. Hinata is a character whom really doesn't have a purpose in the series. She doesn't really accomplish anything throughout the course of the entire series. Her whole shtick is that she has a crush on Naruto throughout the course of the entire thing. There are a lot of fans that sympathize with Hinata because Hinata is portrayed to be someone who's very shy. At the beginning, in part 1 of the series, I can understand why fans would like this character. But Hinata kind of has the same issue that Sakura has, where there's a time skip, you know, between part 1 and part 2 of Naruto. Yet Hinata does not grow up between, you know, within that time period. She does not mature at all mentally. You know, she still has a huge crush on Naruto in the second half of the series that she had on him in the first part of the series. And that's just completely unrealistic, especially considering the fact that Naruto isn't even in the Hidden Leaf Village during that time period. And so I have to wonder, you know, there's so many different men, so many different guys that Hinata could have met during that time. You mean to tell me that she didn't find anyone else that she was interested in from an intimate sense during the 2-year time skip? She didn't find any other guy that she was interested in? And then when Naruto comes back to the village at the beginning of Shippuden and he runs into Hinata again, she still has that shyness to the point where she can't even look at him. So we have a character who likes the main character, but she can't express it to the point where she can't even be around him. And it's like, this is where this character fails. I find the shyness part of her character to be annoying and to be unsettling. And even Naruto himself, you know, kind of finds her to be strange and weird. You know, he expresses this in the first part of the first half of the series. He expresses this in the first half of the series verbally. And yet Hinata continues to have this creeper crush on him until the writer just decided to put them together as a couple at the end of the series. And once again, this is bad writing because Hinata and Naruto, all the way through to the end of the series, do not have a defined relationship. Throughout the vast majority of Naruto, the one female character that Naruto spends the most time with is Sakura, because Sakura is on his team. Now, I read that Masashi Kishimoto intended for Hinata to end up with Naruto from the very beginning, but the mistake he made was not putting Hinata on Naruto's team, so that relationship could be formed and developed properly within the series. Instead, he put Sakura on Naruto's team and made her the third main character of the series. And he also made it so Naruto has a crush on her. So it doesn't make any sense whatsoever that Hinata and Naruto end up together at the end of the series. This is bad writing, plain and simple. This is bad writing from someone who was making an anime that has a lot of action in it, a battle anime. And I believe Kishimoto even admitted to this. He was not interested in writing anything romantic with the characters and their relationships. But if that was the case, why in the fuck did he create these relationships to begin with? If you just wanted Naruto to be a battle anime, why didn't you just focus on that? And this is some of the weak aspects of the series that bug me to this day. This is not how you write female characters, fictional female characters. Sakura and Hinata are perfect examples of what not to do when you write female characters. If you want your female characters, if all you want them to do is to essentially be plot devices for the romantic interest of a main character, you can do that, but there's a proper way to go about that. And Kishimoto did not do it properly. And see, Sakura, Hinata's more of a lost cause, but Sakura, I can think of a few ways her character could have been salvaged. The main thing is she should have grown up and realized that Sasuke was too far gone and that, she was never going to have him. And then, it would have made her character all the more likable if she realized that Naruto was actually the right person for her. And she started treating him in a manner that's more appreciative. And, she started liking him. That would have made her character come full circle. She would have had a properly developed character arc. But unfortunately, that does not happen in the series. And with Hinata, what I would have done personally is I would have had Hinata grow up and move on from Naruto during the time skip between part 1 and part 2. Either she found someone else or she just simply got over Naruto and they just became friends. Because it didn't make any sense that they ended up together at the end of the series, because they didn't have a defined relationship from the get-go, and they didn't have a developed relationship throughout the course of the series. And so that's really the video right there. Sakura and Hinata are terrible characters because they're poorly written. If I find an example of properly written female anime characters, I will gladly make a video on those. But for now, that's the video.